Let me tell you about, if you have faith, you better show it moment. I'm going home and there's a homeless lady that comes up to me, and I'm thinking to myself, Lord bless her heart, I am praying. And then she comes closer asking for money, and I gave her what I had at the moment. My heart went out to her, and I'm always thinking to myself, like, how did people get on the street? You know, what's really going on? Those that are, when I say valid, they're just not there. And okay, let's just move on. So I'm thinking to myself, how did she get on the street and all this stuff? And I give her the money, and it continues on a conversation of me and her. And then immediately my mind goes to judging. So after this encounter is over, I felt this in my spirit, and I took out my Bible to find it. And that's why I'm calling it, if you got faith, you better show it moment. It says in James chapter 2, verse 14, what good is it, my brothers, if a man claims to have faith but has no deeds? Can such faith save him? Suppose a brother or sister without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to him, go, I wish you well, keep warm and well fed, but does nothing about his physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. So I thought, okay, well, I did my part. You know, I'm praying for her right then and there, but also just showing my faith in a sense. Let me give her what she needs at the moment. And of course, it was the money, and again, a conversation. And I just think about, okay, Lord, help me not to judge. And judging, here I go, I'm back in James. Did I get a little bit convicted? Yes, I did. James is basically saying, I believe it's in chapter 3 or 4. I'm looking for it right now. And it's in chapter 2. Favoritism forbidden. My brothers, as believers in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ, don't show favoritism. Suppose a man comes into your meeting wearing a gold ring and fine clothes, and a poor and shabby clothes also comes in. If you show special attention to the man wearing fine clothes and say, here's a good seat for you, but say to the poor man, you stand there or sit on the floor by my feet, have you not discriminated among yourself and become judges with evil thoughts? I'm thinking, that sounds pretty harsh, James. But you know, James is just cut and dry. And I'm just admitting to you, because that's what we have to do. And it says in here that I judged this woman immediately. I'm just thinking, oh my goodness. Even before she comes, you know, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm double-minded. I'm thinking to myself, okay, she's homeless. How did she become homeless? Number one. Then the other thought is, oh, here she comes. She's in the middle of the street. She's about to ask for some money. So I had a whole lot going on for 30 seconds. And overall, I just want to persuade you, convince you, encourage you to have a compassionate heart. Which brings me to wisdom. We've been talking about wisdom, and again, I found it in James, which you would think this is like my favorite book, but James is a book of the Bible that I really have studied very well. So in James chapter 3, it says, verse 17, but the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. Peacemakers who sow in peace raise a harvest of righteousness. So I just thank the Lord for patting me on the back, because I use the wisdom that could only come from God, and just showing a pure and a love, being considerate and compassion towards a complete stranger I did not know. And I'm praying that I was sincere in praying for her and giving what she needed. So that encounter was all in 30 seconds to 1 minute. And I wanted just to share the thoughts were racing through my head just to encourage you when those show your faith moments pop up. Just fall back on being full of mercy, full of compassion, full of good fruit, and just being sincere. And I just pray for her that God will bring her out of whatever it was. You know, like I said, it was a mini conversation. And I'll ask her, I said, well, how did she get in this position anyway? And it's just not out of just judgment. It was just out of curiosity. And the way she said her answer, she was basically saying, girl, it's a long story. So I was thinking to myself, we all have had some tough times in our lives. And I've just felt compelled, you know, I'm reading these devotionals about, or even looking on Facebook about what people are doing just for the good. And I'm just keeping my mind like, let me just continue on doing that and not to judge. Did I judge her? Yes, I did. But by the grace of God, the wisdom just fell down and showed me, show your faith by doing what you need to do. So that's what I came up here to talk about. And I'm going to do another video on knowledge.